Have you ever wondered what actually makes an avoidant attachment style truly open up? Well, there are three major things that will be complete game changers that will teach you exactly how to get any avoidant to share their real feelings and really open up and share their real internal world with you. But before I tell you these three things today, I want to start by just prefacing this video with telling you the importance of what it means to set a deadline in a relationship. This is something we talk about all the time inside of the personal development school. And what I mean by this is that dating an avoidant shouldn't feel like taking on a second job. I think it's a beautiful thing to put effort into a relationship. And I actually think that's one of the fundamental things that we all have to be able to put effort into any aspect of our lives if we want to see that area of our lives grow, whether that's your career growth, whether that's your relationship growth, whether that's financial growth in your life. There has to be concerted and consistent effort. And relationships don't miss that conversation. They require just as much effort as anything else. However, there's a difference between you putting effort alone versus you having a partner who meets you halfway. And that's why we have to set a deadline when it comes to putting effort into a relationship. And what I actually mean by this, before I tell you these three things that really get any avoidant to share their real feelings, is that you should look at what you're truly looking for as an outcome in a relationship. Like, you want to feel deeply connected. You want to feel like this person can be vulnerable and open with you and have hard conversations and work through things together so you constantly grow together rather than grow apart. And if those are the outcomes you're looking for, which I think are very healthy outcomes to be looking for in a relationship, but you're not seeing them right now, what you don't want to do is dive into this and decide, okay, I'm going to try to do this open-endedly forever. I'm just going to try to do this even if it's only me putting in the work. And there's an old saying that says, each person in a relationship is 100% responsible for their 50% of a relationship. And so you should show up 100% in your 50%. I would think that we should do that for anything we care about in life, our work, our friendships, our family relationships, our romantic relationships. But you also need to be vetting to see, is the other person putting in their effort, putting in their work. And so setting a deadline essentially means that when you get into a relationship dynamic, if you're not where you want it to be right now, don't try forever. Decide, hey, I'm going to work on this for 3 months and see how it goes. And that deadline should be unique to each person. So if you're learning about attachment styles here today and you're in an 18-year marriage with 3 kids and a mortgage, you're probably not going to put in 3 months of work. You'll probably put in a year or 2 years of work and really see. And that deadline should be relative to the level of investment you already have in a relationship. But if you're dating someone for 6 months and you're not seeing a lot of momentum, maybe you put in a month or 2 months of work and see if the needle moves. Okay. So prefacing this video, I want to tell you, you want to set a deadline before you just put in work for the rest of your life alone. And in that deadline period of time, you're going to be really clear at the end of it. You're either going to see this person grow with you and the needle slowly and consistently move. And in that case, you can expand out your deadline and keep investing and growing with this wonderful person in a relationship. But if you see literally no progress, despite you trying everything and trying to communicate differently, at the end of the deadline, you know that you have to walk away. This isn't going to be the person you try to spend the rest of your life with, because literally anybody that you're going to spend the rest of your life with should be willing to grow with you, should be willing to put in the effort with you. Okay. So I'm going to tell you 3 really powerful strategies now to get any avoidant to share their real feelings. But you need to make sure that this isn't just, oh, okay, let me do these 3 things. Let me see how this person shows up in general when I start doing these things. Sure, they may share some of their feelings, but are they also making a concerted effort for the relationship in other healthy ways? Okay. So number 1, this goes a very long way. It's warmth and supportiveness. Dismissive avoidants, although they are very stoic and you won't often see a lot of their emotions on their face, or, you won't often see everything that they're feeling. When you're warm and supportive, it goes a very long way. And it does create a sense of emotional safety and security for the dismissive avoidant to start feeling like, okay, I can maybe let down my guard. Now, where people get this wrong and where things often get tricky for people is that they think, okay, well, if somebody was warm and supportive with me, I would open up and share things with them by the 2-month mark, let's say, of dating, just as an example or an analogy. And, for a lot of people who are dismissive avoidant, they're not going to open up by the 2-month mark. They might open up in a much deeper way when 3 or 4 months. So you have to remember that, it's not going to be your timeline that you're expecting from them. It's going to be a little bit slower, okay? Because dismissive avoidants are always just moving more slowly when it comes to anything regarding feelings and emotions, okay? So that's number 1, warmth and supportiveness. And having that be consistent, okay, is really important. If you're somebody who's truly interested in helping others while also securing financial freedom for your future, there is a limited time option to join our 50% off certified relationship coach program. And this is a 12-week program where you can create financial freedom, work from anywhere in the world, and truly make an impact on other individuals' lives by becoming a certified relationship coach in just 12 weeks. Throughout this entire 12 weeks, you will learn all of the tools that you need to discover somebody's attachment style and help them heal and change their attachment style if they are insecurely attached so that they can become secure and build the best relationships of their life. On top of that, you'll learn all about the subconscious mind and how to actually rewire our painful limiting beliefs, our painful behavioral patterns, and help your clients learn their relationship needs, as well as the needs of their loved ones. You'll also learn how to build a thriving coaching practice and set yourself up for long-term success. You'll learn all of the business tips and tools you need to build funnels, leverage marketing strategies, and really thrive in the marketplace. Even if you have absolutely no coaching experience, this certification will give you everything you need starting from scratch to become a thriving relationship coach. You can find more using the link down below. Number 2, an attitude of acceptance and empathy. Okay. What do I mean by this? Well, acceptance and empathy are probably the two biggest ingredients that are actually going to get, and we still have a third one here. I kind of put those two together. You're still going to have these things be the most important things that are going to get a dismissive avoidant to open up. And the reason for this is that dismissive avoidants do not know how to empathize with themselves. So when somebody does this with them or for them, and they feel like they're heard or understood, or that their feelings are noticed and cared for, it's such a deeply unmet need that they all carry from childhood that it's just like fireworks go off in their brain. And they'll often feel really attracted and connected to that. And of course, acceptance goes against their I am defective core wound, which essentially is this big fear that they have of being seen as flawed, fundamentally broken, or shameful, and is often the result or output of childhood emotional neglect. And so we have a dismissive avoidant who, if somebody gives them this attitude of acceptance, again, it's this deeply unmet need that they have, and they feel this sense of like, whoa, and it makes them want to come forward, want to connect, want to let their walls down. They'll just still do it in a way that's slow moving, that's just at a slower pace. And before I tell you number 3, I just want to tell you, if you are somebody who's working on communication or actually bringing these things into a relationship more frequently, and you want a whole course that will help you with supporting this so much. There's a course called How to Repair Any Relationship. And it helps you first vet to see if this person is worth repairing a relationship. Well, I think get clear about where the relationship should stand, and then dive into actually doing the work to heal and repair the relationship. And you can check it out fully for free for 14 whole days. This gives you time to download everything, download the course materials, really get into the course itself. You'll absolutely be able to get through this course within a 14-day period. And it talks about the different attachment styles in there and how they best to respond to these different things, in particular, the important ways to communicate with each attachment style. And while you're in there for the 14-day free trial, which by the way, we do like twice a year, so you don't want to miss out. While you're in there, you can actually dive in to other courses, different events that we do every single day with myself or other coaches and PDS that we have on staff. There's literally a daily supportive event there for follow-up questions. You can come in and ask me your personal questions. I'm in there 3 days a week. So anyways, that is all there. Don't miss out. I'll put it there, the link down below. Number 3, okay, dismissive avoidants need consistency and safety, but not at the expense of being slowly pushed outside of their comfort zone. The way I like to think of this is a slow growth, a slow push towards growth. There's this old saying that optimal growth occurs at the border between support and challenge. In other words, if you're over supported, you don't grow, right? Everything's too easy. There's nothing to learn or to grow towards because everything's handed to you. But on the other hand, if you're never challenged, then if you're overly challenged, then you'll also not grow, because we can all see people who have been in extremely challenging environments and there's just so much trauma that there's not even an opportunity to be in a place of growth. And so really we need, and by the way, we are all, including dismissive avoidance, most attracted to people who have a pretty strong balance between how much they support us and how much they challenge us. And again, if it's too pushed in one direction or the other, often people feel a little bit disinterested. And with dismissive avoidance, they really value and invest in that safety, that consistency. They want that harmony in a relationship. But if somebody's just agreeable and people-pleasing 24/7, they won't like that either. And so that makes a huge and really important argument for you to be able to say, okay, you know what? As my own unique individual, I have to be here and I have to show up and tell my truth. I have to take up space in the relationship. I have to share my true needs. I have to speak my boundaries. I have to be myself. And at the same time, I can come forth and try to be somebody who's warm and supportive and accepting. And if I have to communicate a need, I'll just do it in a healthy, kind way. And if you're able to really do both of those things simultaneously, they may seem mutually exclusive, but they are absolutely not. And that's going to be where you see the absolute most momentum in the relationship. And then just make sure you listen to and set that internal deadline. That is it for today. If you have more questions, let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear them from you. Thank you so much for stopping by and for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And I can't wait to see you in future videos. Thanks for watching.